just a lot of preparation in the summer. Obviously it was an exciting time, so you got to be a little fired up for that. So just a lot of preparation. A lot of hard work in the summer, a lot of skates, a lot of workouts, a lot of everything, and it's been exciting being back, and it's just been fun playing hockey.
Speaking of excitement, you score a lot of goals in your career, led the team last year. That first goal that you score in the game, there was a real visceral response from you. Can you kind of explain just the excitement that you felt in that moment and why?
Home opener, you're back in front of your home fans. It's you got to be a little fired up. You're playing against the team that went to the Stanley Cup Finals last year. A lot of reasons to be excited for it, and most of all, it's being back in front of the fans and being excited that we're back playing hockey.
I'm not sure what the earliest in a season you would have notched 2 fights would be. To what do you attribute the knuckle chucking that you've gotten into so far this year?
I just haven't liked the hits. That one in preseason. Yeah, it is what it is. I didn't like the the reverse hit that by Kachuk there. The puck's 10 feet, hits 6 feet away, and he moves 10 feet to hit me. So I didn't like that. Don't know how I get the extra there, but so be it. He's a tough customer. He's their best player. That battle is what we all get excited for. You're playing against a fantastic player, a tough guy, a guy that does everything, and that didn't like the hit. So that's what hockey is.
Did you know that it was a Gordie Howe hat trick in that moment, Mark?
In the moment, I didn't really, but it is what it is. I think it's my second one actually of my career. So, it is what it is. It was an exciting game. You get a little extra fired up, and that's where the emotion kicks in.
You actually have as many as Gordie Howe had. He had 2 in his career.
Well, it's good to know.
We know the depth of this team, and you guys probably felt like you should have scored more than 3 the other night, but you put up a half dozen tonight. Did it feel like the offense is, it's early, but it's really clicking here?
I thought we could have had even more tonight. Bobrovsky made some big saves. A lot of great plays by a lot of guys. Coop on Barron's goal. Fetz makes a great pass on Smoke's goal. So, a lot of great plays. Obviously, that wasn't how we wrote it up at the last 5 minutes, but it was a big win and big for our group.
How about the play by Josh on the bench? He doesn't officially get an assist there, but plays a big part in that goal too, right?
Yeah, I think he deserves one actually for that. Obviously an unbelievable, just smart thinking, and even Lau's just to have the wherewithal to put it together, put it to his stick, and then make a nice pass. So I know JMO said maybe he'll switch to that curve. So I'm definitely not opposed to that one. So that's just a good play all around.
Was it almost like watching a relay race? That handoff was so seamless and smooth.
Well, yeah, JMO he threw it right into his chest, which if I don't think Laus was focusing on it. So if the stick's just hanging there, he probably doesn't grab it, but it hit him in the chest. So he's like, well, now I have to take it. So it was a good play all around.
Could I ask you what you saw on your goal? Like that whole entry, it looked like you found some space. I'm wondering what your read of it was.
Yeah, we kind of knew what they were doing on the. We've played with Paul for a long time. We have a little insight into what they're thinking, and the funny thing was we used Jamie Compon was the one that actually created that play. So kudos to him. We used it against St. Louis in the playoffs a while back. So just kind of it wasn't just a good play by KC. Just a good read all around, and happy to be the guy putting in the net.
Thank you.
And you get an assist on the game winner with someone else's stick. Where did you think that was going to come up?
Not on my bingo card, but no, it's awesome. Scheif kind of holding his ground, and getting in a scrap. I don't think we want to see that every night, but I think, him not backing down, and, it was a huge goal to open the scoring for us, and, I thought he played great all night. So, that's what it takes, kind of, he's stepping up and not just scoring goals, but leading the way physically and, playing great in both ends. So we're going to look for that to continue.
Josh Morrissey gets an assist on that play.
Unbelievable handoff. It was so smooth I didn't even know it was him until we got back to the bench. Him and Vladdy use kind of similar sticks, and I was going to kick it down the ice, and then kind of all of a sudden there's a stick right in my stomach, and I felt like a running back, just getting in and hitting the hole. So, it was super heads-up play by him. I think Brownie was saying that, if you watch the replay, Jay almost clips me in the head with my own stick. So he was quick on the draw too. So, it's one of those things, it happens once in a while where guys get other sticks from the bench, usually your own, and go down and score. But, probably pretty rare with someone else's. So it was a great assist by JMO.
Yeah, I was going to say that your own stick was there, but what does that say about the level of investment just all around, like from the equipment guys to the players all the way up and down the bench, and how that affected you tonight?
Yeah, I think just being alert, kind of ready in all situations. I got a handoff from LB on the PK earlier where, Dilly breaks a stick. We kind of rotate. We lose a couple sticks for, a few seconds. And, I think that just shows the investment we have in the game and, how badly we want to win. I thought, we were ready to go from the start. And not the ideal start to a second period, but what a response by Scheif's line. KC scoring, I think it was 10 seconds later. And we were able to kind of pile on kind of after that. I thought, all four lines were contributing. We were creating chances, moving the puck quick. And, obviously you don't want to give up a couple with the goalie out, but we found a way to buckle down and get it done.
Was it key for you to sort of take the temperature down then when clearly it seemed like Tkachuk was trying to start something, but you didn't let him get to Samberg when they were losing momentum and he might have been trying to do Tkachukian things?
I think it's just kind of sticking up. I see him going from the side, so I'm a willing combatant. So I think it's just kind of one of those ones trying to neutralize it and don't get baited in. He does such a good job of drawing you in, kind of making you throw a punch or things like that, and before you know it, you're down a couple of guys. And I think we'll take that trade off. He's a 100-point guy. I'm a 30-point guy. So both of us going to sit in the box. It works out in our favor.
How about that shot from Dylan DeMello? Looked like the bench kind of erupted there. I mean, big goal at the time, but
he's on pace for 82, right? So, yeah, it's huge. I think that's something we've talked about all through training camp, and even kind of when the trade happened, is our team's depth is has improved, and we're going to get contributions from all four lines. But I don't think we've talked about enough of the contributions we get from our back end too, and we got three solid pairs, and that's a huge goal. I think he's very underrated, and kind of the play style he does. He's so simple that some of the things really go unnoticed, but he's such a key cog on that top pair with JMO, and obviously JMO puts up great numbers, and he's an elite defenseman, but Dylan does a great job of being a really good complement, and a couple of great plays. You look at the heads-up play he made in Calgary on Al's goal, and tonight is a great spot, and that's a rip. So we love seeing him score.
Thanks. Thank you.
what does it say about Josh Morrissey's engagement level that he's able to hand off that stick in real time and in that penalty killing situation?
You're into the game. That's what it says about that. And he was right off the bat. He's been great the last 2 games. He really has. He's picked up right where he left off last year. But for that, to be that alert on the bench, and fortunately it was a left-handed shot, right? So probably a little difference in the height of the sticks between what Adam uses, what Josh uses. But good for Mo to do that. And again, go back to Adam making that play with a stick he's never used before and a lot shorter stick than he's used to playing with, and he still made a great play.
How would you describe the start to the season that Mark Scheifele's had for your group?
He's been great on both ends of the ice. He's going to look at his face-offs tonight. He's dialed right in there. Gordie Howe hat-trick. We never thought we'd associate that with Mark, but good for him. He's playing hard. He's playing with a lot of emotion, and when you do that, you're going to get involved in the game physically, which he's been engaged in both games. So he's been outstanding with and without the puck.
Rick, you guys were very happy with your game by and large the other night, but didn't get the payoff for it. So I guess this early schedule and 2 days between games and another 2 days after day, just how big was it to kind of get a reward today and a bunch of goals and 2 points?
Well, it was. We played probably better tonight. We didn't give those guys much at all until the end. They got those 2, but 5-on-5 they had nothing. It's unfortunate there are so many penalties called in the game because it just disrupts the ice time for everyone, the flow of the game. But that's what it was. Penalty killers did a great job. Power play got a big goal for us right away. But yeah, so we need the puck to go in the net today, and it went in. And give the guys credit for staying in it. And that was a total team effort tonight. Every line scored. Specialty teams were really good. So that's how you win hockey games.
I imagine you really like the response early in the second. They get that goal 25 seconds in, and then you put your top line out, and 10 seconds later it's tied. I mean, that's kind of what you hope a top line can go out and do, right?
Exactly. Well, our mentality here is they score, we're going right back at them. We score, we want to go right back at them. So good for Mark's line to go out there, and that was a greasy goal. Kind of Mark's got to go in there, and they got to get the puck deep, and they got to win a little battle, and made a great play to KC. So that's what you need. You're at that top line to do, get the momentum right back on your side.
I can ask you this because it didn't end up coming to fruition, but after they got the 2 empty net goals, were you thinking back to that Carolina game for a second?
There were different goals against Carolina. They were throwing pucks that were in through 5-6 bodies. And okay, you got to live with that. I thought we made 2 glaring mistakes on both of those goals that we can fix. The ones against Carolina, is hard to fix those because they went through 4 or 5 bodies. Tonight, we made 2 glaring mistakes on both of those goals that we can fix.
Was it almost 3 with Tkachuk getting in?
Yeah, you had just power play. We finally put 2 defense out there, and they still get that breakaway. So we got a little lucky there. They hit the goalpost, and we came down and scored. So we got a little lucky there.
Scheifele's power play goal where he burst through that seam there, is that something that you guys identify? Is that a route that's available?
Yeah, Brad Lauer, he showed them that their penalty killing, and so we give Lauer a lot of credit on that. They took advantage of it, but you want to come at them with speed, but now you got to make the pass. You got to it's the execution. So you know what you want to do, but now you got to execute it. So obviously they did.
I also got to go back to that Scheifele fight. I mean, clearly he didn't like the reverse hit, and he goes after him.
Oh, and good for Mark. Again, that's twice this year already. He's had to stick up for himself, and he will. We're counting on him to be a leader on the team, and part of that is when you got to stand up for yourself out there. Everyone, we're a family, and we will stick up for each other. But if there comes a point you got to stick up for yourself, and Mark hasn't been shy about doing that at all.
Last year, you'd wanted all 4 lines to look like each other, regardless of skill level. Do you feel that your team's back to that?
Both games, all 4 lines without the puck have done a really good job pressuring the opposition, getting above and not giving up. We've been very good 5-on-5 defensively, and it's created more offense for us. The puck didn't go in Calgary, it went in for tonight, but for all 4 lines, one thing with that 4th line, I can play them. I'm not worried about it. This Barkov, they can go out against them. They all know how to play. They're all reliable players, and that's a good luxury to have.
I'm interested in how you got there, Rick, because with the preseason the way it was, a lot of runway disappeared because of all the injuries and all the sickness. And I know that the message to the team, because they told us, you'd said this to them after that last preseason game, was we're going to have to work our way into being where we want to be over the next little while. In your mind, what went right over that time to get this team looking like you want them to look for games 1 and 2?
All 4 lines have bought in and doing everything we need them to do without the puck. And so regardless of the structures of the line, and yeah, you're missing guys, but the things we were practicing during training camp, you can see it on the ice and during the game. So I know because of the injuries and the flu and the line mates changed, but the structure didn't. And the structure didn't because they all paid attention. They were working on things in training camp. So give the players credit for that.
And when did you really see that locking in as a coach? Say like, okay, we're on to something because they're on to something.
The most important part was the Calgary game, the opening night. So we had to see it then, and we did. So again, it was hard with the line, with the sickness and everything, but we worked on those things every day. But you don't know if it's going to look until you get into a real live game, a real action game against a full National Hockey League roster. And we did see it in Calgary. We held them to under 10 chances, 5-on-5. So that means everyone's contributing defensively.
Yes.
Thanks.